Welcome back, everyone. This is my daughter, Annika, and she is 11 years old. Still young enough to play with dolls, although she typically likes to draw and do other things. But I thought since I got those miniatures, I'm going to make her a cool Barbie kitchen with just things I find at the dollar store, like popsicle sticks or little round bamboo skewers, foam board, whatever I can find. And of course, the stuff I got from Temu, like the little play Barbie food and the miniature appliances. I went a little bit crazy and I did kind of buy a lot of miniature stuff. It's a little bit too much maybe. So that's just some of what I picked up for her. I got these two great cutting mats from a friend who brought them from the United States to me here. I just ordered it from Amazon to send it to his sister's house, and he brought it. Thank you so much, Juan. They are really, really helpful. I even got this arm to put my camera on so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here. These foam board pieces are $2.50 from Dollar City. They're 30 inches wide, 20 inches high, and I drew myself a little drawing as to how I was going to cut it out to maximize the space. Basically, I'm turning the back part of it to be a trifold. It's what they call a hidden room. I used to watch MyFroggyStuff, and she makes these hidden rooms. So the two side walls will fold in, so you don't actually cut the foam board all the way through there. And we're making them 13 inches high because we're putting shelves in Annika's room, and we're going to be putting them about 13 inches apart. They are adjustable, so they can be whatever. And about, the shelves would be about 12 inches deep, so it can't be any deeper than that. And then the leftover foam board we're going to use to make the floor. And my goal is to fold it all up into itself so that it can just be put on the shelf and not look like anything, fantastic or spectacular or taking up all this room, because I remember trying to make a Barbie house when I was a kid for myself, and that thing was massive. I used sheets of plywood, and I didn't last very long because my mom did not want that gigantic thing in the living room. So this way, it can be taken out when needed or put away, or we can make several versions of different rooms and put them together to make a great big house out of it that she can put on her floor or whatever. Anyway, I'm just cutting the foam board here to the right measurements. Like I said, I had that little drawing, so I kind of worked it out. You can do whatever you like. But these are basically the walls and the floor of the house. I don't put a roof on it or anything like that. And I left like the walls just really, I kind of made it foldable so you could have it completely flat across. I just have one wall bent in the end, so it kind of stands up like an L shape. But I'm going to add on other rooms later on, so I want to be kind of flexible that way. Using up all that one board for the walls and floor meant the floor was only 10 inches deep. So I found some nice scrapbook paper to use as the flooring, and that's what I put on it. And of course, I had to tape a couple pieces together. So I taped it first in the back, and then I just put the scrapbook paper on the front. I was a little bit, OCD. I made sure that the two different pieces of paper lined up perfectly with the pattern so that when the floor is together, they line up perfectly. Also went to Super China and I got a couple pieces of peel and stick flooring. So one of my other rooms, I'll use that because the paper, of course, is delicate. If I cover it with clear packing tape, it might last a little longer, but I don't have that right now. I'll have to find it. Now here I got this little cubby from the dollar store as well. It was $4. And I got some paint and I had some wooden beads I'm making for legs for it, and here I am just painting it up so that it will match my kitchen. Now I was going to use these cupboards. I did attempt to make it with these cupboards, and honestly, I didn't like it. It didn't come out even. I made two cupboards side by side and they weren't flat enough to put the countertop on, so I scrapped that idea and I just made my own to fit. And it's 1/6 scale, so you just need to take, countertops are usually about 36 inches high. So you would just take that 36 divided by 6, you get 6 inches. So the countertop has to be 6 inches for the Barbies. This is how I attach the floor in the middle section. I put tape on it because it's two different pieces, just wrapped it around. So when I store it on the bookshelf, I'll just stand it up and the floor could be there in the middle, holding the two walls side by side. And here's the leftover two pieces of floor that was 10 inches deep as well. Again, I made the floor match. This is all one piece of the foam board, and again, there's the cupboard I made that I didn't like, so you won't see them again. I made this stove also from MyFroggyStuff printables. It's okay for my first attempt. Wasn't the best, but I did the fridge way better, so you'll see that in a minute. But the stove's okay. Again, it'd be great if I had the clear packing tape. I could put it over the oven door to make it shiny there, or even over the whole thing. That was the fridge template. It's two pieces. You got to tape it together. And then I had to cut out the foam board to put inside it. You're basically making a wrapping paper shell of it, and then you just build the foam board for the inside, and there you go. It turns into a fridge. Now, Ken, you can make a fridge that opens, and maybe next time I'll make one where the doors open. I really like that printable, the stainless steel, looks really cool. And they're the same depth as the stove. It wasn't really good and clear with the directions for the fridge because the walls didn't come up all the way. That's why I used a stove to measure it by, so I can make it as deep as the stove because they're side by side. And obviously most appliances are the same depth. So there I am, just cutting out the foam board that I would need to make the fridge fit in that printable. Because the printable didn't come down all the way through the side, I had this metal looking scrapbook paper. I just cut that out to put all around the sides of it to make it look really cool. I think it really came out really good. I even cut it on the side to match where the freezer would be opening up. And that's the fridge. Now I'm working on the countertop here. Of course, I did scrap the cupboard afterwards, but this is how to make the countertop. You have to cut out where the sink's gonna go. I kind of measured it where it would be inside that particular cupboard, even though I changed my mind afterwards. These are the 4 sides of the sink and the bottom of the sink. But I found this cool metallic duct tape, and I want to use that to actually make the sink out of. So I just laid all the pieces down, cut them, and then folded the tape up. I just tucked in the sides like you're doing a present and then folded the top over, and voila, all 4 sides, and now they're all done. And I had the bottom to do as well. So that's that piece, and now we attached them all together. And I did this with the school type glue I picked up. And the bottom kept wanting to slide out on me, so I had to let that dry really long before I got to use it. I had to put a piece of paper under it because the glue kept oozing out. Next time I would use hot glue for this. Now to attach it to the sink, I cut out, except I want to put a countertop on first. And I also did this printable from MyFroggyStuff that looks like marble. Again, be great with clear packing tape over it. And when I get some clear packing tape, I will definitely put that on there. So I just cut out the paper a little bit bigger than this. I also marked where the sink's going, so I could cut out the hole and just wrap it around the opening. I've glued it down here, trimmed it off, and now I'm going to wrap around those pieces and glue them. See, they're a little bit longer, so I had to cut the narrow parts, triangles off a little bit there to make it fit. Again, hot glue would be great for this, but I use this school glue right here, and I set that on top of it so it would dry like an eternity later on. And now, since I absolutely hated the last cupboard, I decided I need to make my own cupboard. I cut out the pieces to fit my countertop, again 6 inches high, all the way around, and voila, here it is. Of course, it needs drawers, so I cut out little pieces of foam board to mimic drawers, cut out some pink paper to put over the drawers to make it, extra special to cover it up with, gluing them on and cutting out the corners like this so you can wrap it around again like a present. Makes it so much easier to get the paper to fit nicely in the corners. And then once you have all those done, then you need to stick them on to the actual countertop. I'd also ordered that purple glue from Amazon that Juan brought me from United States, so I don't know if they have that particular one here, but they do have other glue. But I heard the purple one's really good with scrapbook paper. Here it is when it's all put together, and I glued those on with the school glue. So the sink cupboard is looking pretty good. Now I was trying to set up the kitchen to see what the best layout was, and I really was not loving that window in that location. No matter which way I put it, it seemed off. So I actually decided the window had to go. It's my house. I can do whatever I want with it. I can make it, however I want it to look. I also want to put this other printable from MyFroggyStuff, which is subway tile, on the wall behind where the sink was going to go. And I had decided the sink was going to go on this wall, so that's where I was going to put that. And in order to put the sink on the wall, I used these foam squares. I actually brought these from Canada. I'm sure they have them here as well. And there it is with my little subway tiles on it. Again, I used that purple glue stick to stick it onto there. And I covered the back with the pink paper I picked out, and I put the window square I cut out back in on the other side because I couldn't stand the window. Now, I found the paper really hard to go over where the crease is. I actually had to overlap the paper slightly to make the pattern fit, and then it was kind of hard to close. It wanted to bounce open all the time just because it was so thick in that corner. And this is how it looks in the back where I stuck the window back in. And now we're moving on to some shelves for the wall. I cut out 3 pieces of foam board, I got some nice pink paper, and I decided I was going to wrap the shelves in the pink paper. I made the paper 2 shelves thick, and then I cut it out.
It was at this moment that she knew. She f***ed up.
I realized the shelves are going to be seen from both sides, and I made those strips too skinny. I almost couldn't even wrap it around once. So then I made it 3 strips wide with the rest of my pink paper. I had enough to do the 2 of them fully, and then I got a scrap to cover the open side of the one I screwed up on. And then I had to figure out where exactly I was going to put them. So I measured down on the tiles. I'm just pointing out that the pink paper there has actually seemingly come apart. So I will have to address that later on. This time I decided to use the hot glue, and I was a little messy the first one, but I got better with the other ones. It stuck so fast and so good. I'm definitely going to be using hot glue from now on. But that crease in the middle is a bit, kind of crazy. I'm going to work on maybe covering that later on. I want to cover that little edge with this pink paper as well. And I need some knobs for all those drawer fronts. So I had some black paint, and then I had some silver paint, and they look really cool. I used hot glue to stick those on as well. And there it is, all finished and ready to be played with by my daughter or me. I'm not sure who. And I got these little dolls from Temu, actually. They have dolls too. They're full articulation, which is what I wanted. They're not, Barbie, whatever. I can get some Barbies here. I can even get them secondhand off Facebook Marketplace. I just haven't get around to doing that yet. But here I put all the miniatures in the kitchen. I got the little steaks in the frying pan. She's doing some baking there with the 35 eggs and some plates and cups and everything on the shelves, and all the appliances on the counter. Isn't that adorable? Next up will probably be the dining room because I have all the furniture for it. I still have to work on the faucet for the sink and some artwork for the walls and maybe a few extra little things here and there. But all in all, it's a pretty good first attempt at making my daughter her little Barbie kitchen that can be folded up easily and put on her bookshelves once we get those made. And I'm going to do the same with all the rooms so that they're all very compact and can be put away easily. Now obviously the wooden island here can't fit inside it when it's closed up, but all the items are inside that for this actual kitchen. It's like, the kitchen drawers, extra food and the cutlery and whatnot. So that could just go on the shelf as basically a storage unit for her Barbie things. I did go a little crazy with the miniatures, I have to admit. I'm a little sucker for Temu. I get a little excited when I put stuff in my cart and I was like, oh, it's only 35 cents or it's only $1.50, because some of these things are super inexpensive, but they're so adorable. And if it brings her a little bit of joy, or me, whoever, then I think it'll be worth it. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what you think of this house, because that's how we make it in El Salvador.
Smash that like